Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back. And I wanted to come in and run my mouth and talk about the people. So let's go ahead and get into this mess. All right, y'all. So listen to this. We kind of tapped into this last night. I went live. Shout out to everybody who participated in the live. We had a good time. I had a good time. But I'll just speak for some of us. We had a good time last night. Um, if you were not there, you should have been there. If you couldn't make it for whatever reasons, you can still catch the replay. So the live is still up and available. But anyways, we tapped into this last night when we were talking about young Miami being referred to as a um, sex worker in the documents that have been now um, been floating around the web. Also, 50 Cent's baby mama, Daphne Joy, she was also named as a sex worker. This is according to the Neighborhood Talk. 50 Cent is reportedly seeking full custody of his and Daphne Joy's son after she was named as a sex worker in Diddy lawsuit. So neighbors on Wednesday we reported that 50 Cent's baby mama Daphne Joy was named in a lawsuit as an alleged sex worker for Diddy alongside Young Miami and others. 50 Cent wasted no time trolling his baby mama online after making the discovery. However, it looks like he may have serious concerns because according to Us Weekly, he is now allegedly seeking full custody of the I'm sorry, seeking full custody of their son, 12-year-old girl, their 12-year-old son. I can't pronounce his name. Given the latest developments in news of Daphne Joy's involvement in the Diddy lawsuit, 50 is going for sole custody of his son, a source close to the situation told Us Weekly Thursday. Diddy and several others are facing serious accusations stemming from sex trafficking lawsuit filed against him. Neighbors, are you surprised at 50's alleged move? No, we're not surprised. Anybody who not necessarily keeps up with 50 Cent, but sees, when the blogs post 50 Cent, we know that he can be very, very petty, right? Listen, can I say something? And before some of you get to typing, can you just please let me get out what I need to get out? Now, sometimes I'm a little long winded, so I'm going to try to wrap this up as quickly as possible. Even though some people may not want to admit it, selling coochie is one of the oldest professions in the book. Someone said last night, shout out to you, it's nothing but love. Someone said last night in the comment section that I was glamorizing um, basically selling cat. And I don't think that I was. I felt like I was just coming from a point of view of girl, it is what it is. That's what the girls and boys, okay, are doing. And they've been doing it for a very long time. I think there's levels to it, right? I think that some people don't like to admit that they have participated in sex work. I think that sometimes people think that sex workers are only those who are standing on a corner with they thigh hanging out, right? Got a back page ad, a Craigslist ad, a OnlyFans account. No, right? Now we also have to admit that for the most part, most girls and boys are not on the same level as a young Miami as receiving what she received from Diddy. A lot of the girls ain't getting flew out on private jets or being invited to the Met Gala. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the girls are not getting a podcast because they sleeping with a local dope boy. A lot of the girls ain't being taken on shopping sprees at Chanel. So even though it may be a higher end of sex working, it's still sex work nonetheless. I don't think, with all of that being said, I don't think that just because someone is a sex worker, no matter what type of level you want to put them on, that automatically makes them a bad parent. I don't think that. Right? Now, it's one thing if, girl, you running a mess through your apartment and your children seeing all these men and women come through your door every day. Now we can start to talk about your parenting, right? But if Daphne, who more than likely, okay, has primary custody of her son, and even if it's not on paper that she has primary custody, it could be joint custody, right? She probably still takes care of their child more than 50% of the time. The son is 12 years old. Before Daphne's name was mentioned in these legal documents as a sex worker, prior to that, what has Daphne done to show 50 Cent that she's not a good mother? Because it's also hard for me to believe. It doesn't make it true, just because it's hard for me to believe it. But it's also hard for me to believe that 50 Cent, you wasn't moving the same way that some of the other niggas move who got a little bit of money. I'm sure in exchange for some cooch, you done gave out a Chanel bag or two yourself. I'm sure in exchange for some cooch, you done flew out a couple of girls yourself, right? But now, since she is labeled as a sex worker in legal documents, now all of a sudden they're saying that allegedly you want to try and take y'all's son away. And I don't think that's necessarily fair. Because again, the boy is 12 years old. Were you trying to get legal custody before, prior to now? Or is it now you hear this information and now it's, oh, now I can attack your motherhood? Someone giving out coochie for Chanel don't mean you a bad mama. It just doesn't. Again, it's one thing if you said you saw men and women, girl, running in and out of an apartment building or a home and the children are there and they can see all that mess. That's one thing. But if that's not the case, if Daphne basically, for us, we don't like to call it sex work. We're gonna just say, oh girl, she hit a lick, it ain't tricking if you got it, girl, she just getting to the money, she just getting to the bag, right? But the fact of the matter is, girl, a lot of these girls who have access to these rich men, especially those who are not in relationships, right? They are giving out cooch for Chanel. And then they go back home and take their kids to school on Monday morning. Some of them, some of them don't make it home until Wednesday night. I just think that multiple things can exist at the same time. I think that we can call out things for what it is. Sex work is sex work. Again, it's different levels to it's levels to it. Some of the girls are at this level. Some of the girls might be like Carisha, but look at Carisha. Carisha might have to pay the price because now, girl, they're talking about you running around here like the queen of the South, having to go get some of Diddy's drugs. So, at the end of the day, was it worth it? I guess we'll find out. But I don't. It's hard for me to believe that now all of a sudden, 50 Cent, if this out, if the blogs are correct, that you want custody of your son. Your son is 12. All in the name of, oh, they said you're a sex worker. You ain't tried to get him before the other day, and we know how you did that oldest son. I always felt that, girl. Y'all gonna have to show me proof that Daphne is a bad mama after 12 years. You know how some of y'all want to know. You know how some of y'all want proof that, girl, or y'all want to know what the people at Homeland Security talking about. Like, we ain't gonna never get that information. Now, whether Daphne is a good mama or not, we could probably that's information we could probably get on our own, right? But girl, the ins and outs of a target investigation pertaining to Love Daddy, We ain't gonna never get that information, girl. It might be a leak here or there. We ain't gonna get that, but we can find out if Daphne is a good mama or not. Okay. Like I said, the son is 12. Were you trying to get him prior to the other day? Anyways, let's move on. All right, y'all. So I know some of you don't watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I do. I started season 10, so I'm not like this. I haven't been watching since the beginning of, Beverly Hills, but there was a housewife. Her name, I call her Annabella, Anna Michelle, Santa Anna Maria. Her name is Anne Marie. And she was a one and done. Basically, she was a housewife for one season and she got her pink slip and white box at the end of this season. Most of us already knew that Anne Marie was not going to be coming back. I mean, girl, the writings were clearly on the wall. And then once she came out, I think it was in the middle of the reunion. She was doing a couple of interviews, and she let us know that she actually shot a lot of scenes with her mother. Her mother unfortunately passed away. With her mother, and a lot of those things were not shown on the show. And I think that was even a bigger like eye opener that girl, you're not coming back. If you shot all of this and you came in 6 weeks into the season was damn near halfway over. You come in 6 weeks, 6 episodes into the season, and then you're having conversations with your mother who unfortunately passed away I think it was due to lung cancer, and they didn't even show these things. Her husband, Marcellus, decided to get online and I guess wrap the girls up. This is when I say there are people out there who are detached from reality. Two of those folks, Anne Marie and her husband, and I'm gonna tell you why. Anne Marie did not get her pink slip and white box because she's just this horrible housewife. In all honesty, even though she got on my nerves, Anne Marie was not a horrible housewife. I think she took horrible advice, but Anne Marie could. She wasn't bad. She wasn't bad. She wasn't bad, right? They feel like Anne Marie, or her husband feels like Anne Marie got the boot because they say allegedly she's a Trump supporter. I guess she's cool with Candace Owens, and then they've made comments about trans athletes. Girl, one, this is what I do believe. Girl, I think most of the housewives are Republicans, right wing, Trump supporters, whatever you want to call them. Okay, um, I think the majority of them are, and including some of the niggas. Okay, don't get it twisted. It ain't just the white ones I'm talking about. I could see Karen. Hello. I could see Sharice. Quiet as it's kept. I could see Ashley Darby. I could. I definitely could. Okay. It's a couple of them who I feel, girl. It is what it is. But I don't think that Anne Marie got her walking papers because of her political views. Because I feel like, girl, she probably the same as girl 93% of the housewives. They probably think the same way. Girl, your wife got her walking papers, Mr. Marcellus, is because you were accused of stealing coochie in college. That's what it was about. That's what it was about. And for Anne Marie and her husband to act like that's not what it's about is absolutely crazy. Anne Marie didn't get fired because Anne Marie did something wrong. Anne Marie got fired because they say that you were stealing cooch in the dormitories back in the day. So Marcellus had to say this. Wiley, this is what he had to say. Look at these bullshitters opening up Pandora's box. Crystal knows damn well my wife is not a Trump supporter. But even if she was, who the hell are you to politically police her? Crystal also knows her virtue signaling ass shouldn't be saying the word, the N word. in videos, a word I don't even use, but she has. Worse, she doubles down on dumb by implying to my wife who she has to vote for since she's black. Hashtag Crystal Biden. And Garcelle puts the con and confused. Acts pro black but stays hating on black women in a desperate attempt to stay fancy on a show with no blacks. Let's be real. My wife wasn't good on house. Girl, now this is when he started, girl. Now, this is what I say. Sometimes y'all don't even realize y'all are sleeping in bed with the enemy. Girl, how was your husband, who was already referred to you as an 8.5, right? Can I say something about the 8.5? 8.5 is not a bad number. However, you would think that, girl, just your husband being your husband, you know, he would just be like, baby, you a 10 in my book, baby. You the best, you the baddest bitch out here. That's how your husband's supposed to gas you up. Even if he really think you're an 8.5 or a 7.5 or a 6.5, you're the baddest bitch out here. That's how your husband is supposed to hype you up. Okay? But girl, your husband is low key, he been chopping your ass, girl, since you got on the show. Girl, this is what this man said about his wife. Okay? Let's be real. My wife wasn't good on Housewives. So if you know she wasn't good on Housewives, then why are we even here? Yeah. If you can acknowledge, well, to me, I don't think she was that bad of a housewife. But if you will even acknowledge that you agree with most of the viewers that your wife was not a good housewife, then girl, why are we even having this conversation? She wasn't a good housewife. That's why she got fired. It ain't because of political views. Girl, it's because, like you said, she wasn't a good housewife. Girl, period. Personally, I'm glad she's off the show. She was a horrible fit. So you already acknowledged that she was not a good housewife. You also acknowledged that she was not she was a horrible fit. So if she wasn't a good housewife and she was a horrible fit, then girl, why are your panties in a bunch? That's what we are trying to understand. There's no reason to come out with this dissertation if you really believe that your wife was not a good housewife and that she was a horrible fit for the show. At that point, girl, just move on with your life. We all saw it, and it was obvious why. We all saw that my wife was not a good housewife, and she was a horrible fit. We all saw it. Girl, your husband done chopped you 3 times in 3 sentences. It's impossible to truly know how fake you have to be to actually be a real housewife. Marcus, you are Marcellus, Marcus, whatever his name is. You are the reason why your wife lost her job. It wasn't anything that Annemarie did. The truth of the matter is, Bravo, NBC Universal has a lot of shit going on right now. Every time we look up, somebody is, girl, pulling on Andy Cohen's wig and accusing him of all types of carrying on. Every time we look up, somebody's suing Bravo. In this situation, your wife was easily disposable. They didn't have that much stock in her. She was a one-time housewife. She had already come in mid-season. Now, after we finished the season and we're putting the show together, now allegations are coming out about you being a pussy stealer in college. Girl, we not even bringing her back. We already got a lot going on over here. We don't need all of that. Girl, we don't know if it's true or not, but we don't want no parts of it. Go ahead and give Annemarie her pink slip in her white box and tell her good luck. There's no way that they could have shot that reality TV show without bringing up the accusations and allegations surrounding Annemarie and her husband. I don't even think it will be fair for them to even go into a season knowing that everybody has heard about these rumors and nobody bring it up. If y'all want to go down that road and start bringing up what the blogs say and what the headlines say, if y'all don't have a problem bringing up what the headlines say about Mauricio, then y'all shouldn't have a problem bringing up the headlines of what they say about Marcellus. And if we don't want to go down that road of it being dark on housewives, then girl, you and your husband have to go. It is what it is. I'll put the link to the article in the description box so you can read what the victim alleges happened to her in college. She went to administrators, she went to staff, and they basically told her in a nutshell that she was lying and that what she said happened didn't happen. And they protected Marcellus, allegedly. I think it's weird that Annemarie and Marcus want to act as if this dark cloud is not hanging over their head and she just got fired. Annemarie is acting like she don't know why she got fired. I don't think I think it's weird as hell that Marcellus wants to come after Garcelle. Listen, we don't know what happens behind the scenes. We don't know. These reality stars, they shoot hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, like hundreds of hours of footage a week. And they have to reduce that down to like a 47, 50-minute reality show, right? So there's so much stuff that we don't see. There's so many conversations that are happening even off camera that we're not privy to, right? So there's always a possibility that there have been things that have been said that we just don't know. But I find it real comical that Marcellus wants to all of a sudden question Garcelle and say that she is, what did he say? She acts like she's pro-black. When your wife was the one who sat on stage and ran to the defense of a white woman. Garcelle is sitting here wrapping this white woman up. And what did your wife do? Your wife didn't just sit there and be quiet and eat her food. Your wife just didn't sit there and mind her business. She didn't open up her mouth to back up Garcelle. She opened up her mouth to defend Dorit and then turned around and got on social media and tried to call out Garcelle for not calling out Sutton when she felt as though Sutton was attacking her. I've never seen Garcelle ask for Annemarie as her backup on any situation that she's had this season. She dealt with it by herself. And if Annemarie felt like Sutton was attacking her or weaponizing her being a black woman, then she should have called out Sutton. But no, she decided to back up Dorit and throw Garcelle under the bus, but then turn around and get on Twitter and say that Garcelle should have called out Sutton. The same way, girl, that you called out Dorit. So we can go down this road of questioning blackness and who did what. But the truth of the matter is, if we're going to question anybody, it's going to be Annemarie. If anybody was hating on the black woman, it was Annemarie. Because we don't have any footage or proof of Garcelle hating on Annemarie, but we have footage and proof of Annemarie appearing as though she low-key hating on Garcelle and throwing Garcelle under the bus and not backing up Garcelle. Even if she felt like Garcelle was in the wrong, she should have just sat there and shut up and said, girl, you know, look, you was on the wrong, you was in the wrong, but I didn't want to call you out in front of all those white bitches, so I just shut up. But sister, you was okay in the wrong. But no, she didn't do that. She said, you know what? I want to say that Dorit, she is the only one that can't. Girl. Anyways, I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Y'all have a good day. Bye, y'all. Oh, and also about Crystal saying the N word. Listen, I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I was talking to a friend last night and I told him I wouldn't be surprised if 99.9999% of the living and dead population have said the N word. I don't put nothing past nobody. I do believe, especially when y'all be listening to songs, I don't think that y'all at y'all houses not saying the N word. If you're listening to a song that has the N word in it, you are definitely. I just think that y'all are saying it. Now, if Marcellus has evidence of Crystal saying the N word, either you're gonna have to just put it out and let us see it, or like Monique, shout out to Andrew Gabor, leave it on the playground. Girl, if you're gonna come out and say Crystal said the N word, put it out. If not, then leave it in the sandbox. That's it. I'm gone. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a good day. Bye, y'all.